just had a shot just now. This is another thing I don't think I've touched on. And this may not be the video, but I just want to remind myself of it. I've been shooting balls towards this pocket. I come up, I don't know, maybe about here. I can't shoot the 14 without hitting the 8. I can't push through and then come back over like that, right? So I think, well, then I have a couple of choices. Shoot the 7, try to put a buttload of follow on it, and come up here for what would probably be a tough cut on the 8. But a makeable cut. Or just shoot the 7 and come up or bank on a 10. Now what I tried to do was play shape for the 8. It was about, I was straighter in, I was pretty straight. And so it was possible. What I did is not that. What I did is I missed the ball. And I told myself, oh, that's your subconscious telling you that you just shot the wrong shot. And I say that a lot to myself, and you know, I think it's kind of true. That if a shot is impossible, a lot of times I don't realize or don't accept the fact that it's impossible. You know, I don't get perfect shape, so I shoot anyway. I've said that kind of stuff before. In this case, rather than do that, I should probably have just played for this bank on the 10. I mean, in theory, I can bank balls, you know. I don't completely suck at them usually. When I play one pocket, I'm worse. But that was a shot where, in that case, I'm going to make the 7 no matter what. I'm going to have a shot at the 10 no matter what. The way I was shooting it, by trying to put a massive stroke on it, you know, the 7 becomes iffy. It becomes missable. And then, even then, I might not get shape. So all that, you know, all that stuff is in my head. I'm shooting a tough shot, and I might not get shape anyway. It might not even be worth shooting it. So that's what I mean when I say my subconscious is telling me that I'm shooting the wrong shot. I would have liked to make the ball, but I didn't. But if I made it, then I would have some, you know, I have some shots. This kind of thing happens to me a lot, and right now I'm trying to think of some other examples. And I'm going to hit that in the same place every time. Maybe my subconscious was telling me that. I can tell you exactly what's going on here, besides the fact that, you know, my banks haven't been that good when I'm playing one pocket, is that I'm trying to do something else. What I'm trying to do else is get up here for the 14 or the 8. That's what I'm trying to do. And I've said, when I'm playing, I get this split brain syndrome, and instead of just making the ball, I'm like, oh, I got to make the ball and get up here. Even though it's natural to get up there, I'm still thinking about that. I'm still thinking about accomplishing those two things. And that can absolutely mess me up. And it does. I'm convinced it does mess me up. Just shooting that ball naturally, you know, I left myself on the rail. Maybe that's what was going on. I wasn't thinking about that, but maybe that's what was going on. I'm thinking, don't leave myself on the rail. But I have a lot of times where I think, okay, there's another objective besides just making the ball. Look at that scratch, almost. And that can make me miss the ball because a part of my brain is worried about that other objective. So that's that little part of this thing. This is a stupid little video, but I need to be aware of those times. If I feel like a shot is just stupid or really tough, I think that's like I said, my subconscious telling me don't fucking shoot it. Find something better than that. Easier said than done, of course, but I like to be able to be aware of that type of thing. And another thing that I want to mention is, as I said before, these cross corners, I've been having a tough time with them. I'm overspinning him, or I'm hitting them short, one or the other. And what I need to do, if it's close, this is a slight regular cut. This would be a slight back cut. Find the spot and hit it with straight bottom. Not trying to draw the ball in this case, but just find that spot. Find something to aim at on the ball. And on shots like this, that thing to aim at on the ball is that banking line. I keep leaving myself on the rail for that. This is probably why I was having a problem with the 10. It's probably part of the reason I was having a problem banking the 10. Is because my subconscious is like, you're going to leave yourself on the rail. You're going to leave yourself on the rail. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And my subconscious is screaming at me, don't leave yourself on the rail. Meanwhile, my conscious self is just trying to make the 10. Those two things are conflicting, whatever. And what I wanted to get at was, shots like this that I should never miss, I miss. I overspin them or undercut them. And one of the little secrets or tidbits that I guess I've forgotten can also apply to this kind of shot a lot of times is find this damn spot and then aim at that spot with bottom. Don't aim at it. Don't aim to hit it with bottom. Aim at it with bottom. And I've described all this before, but when I described it before, it was with cross sides. Find that spot, hit it with a little bit of bottom. That shit, while it may not be perfect, it works better for this cross corner than I've been able to do lately. The way I've been able to do it lately, it just hasn't been very good, especially not for a guy that can, in theory, bank ball. So find that spot, aim at that spot with bottom. Not necessarily draw. It could just be stop shot bottom. But do it. Don't forget that. Because as you know, these are shots that may cause any problems. I wish I had more examples of situations where I'm shooting the wrong shot and I miss and I joke, oh, my subconscious told me I was shooting the wrong shot. A lot of times I'll miscue and I'll tell myself that. Jacked up, shooting something tough. Let's say I'm going to shoot the 8, right? A lot of times, if I miscue, then I'll go, oh my gosh, my subconscious told me I shot the wrong shot. Well, yeah, I fucking shot the wrong shot in that case. I'm freaking jacked up. There are situations like that that I want to try to be more aware of. And damn, especially if there's more than one component to the shot. If there's any kind of like, not even tricky, but if I have to give any thought at all to shape, it can mess me up. I can shoot this 8 and come over. It's kind of natural to come over for the 14. But if I let my mind get in there and go, oh, don't scratch, or oh, don't leave yourself on the rail. I'm not saying those things aren't important to pay attention to, but I need to be aware of those things and aware that they are trying to make me miss the shot. Me trying to avoid leaving myself on the rail is conflicting in my brain with making this 8. And this has messed me up more times than I can say. Is I gotta make this ball, and are there any real risk? There's not really a risk of scratching, I don't believe. Is there a risk of leaving myself on the rail? Yes. Okay, whoop-de-fucking-do, because I gotta make this 8. This is, in most cases, this is the attitude I have to have. I've said before, you make the ball, then you can do something else. If you miss the ball, then you can't do anything else except go sit down. My biggest thing, I just need to be aware of these kind of situations at all times and not let them bother me. So I'll let myself on the rail, just kind of like I said. Whoop-de-doo, I made the ball, I get to shoot again. I get in a situation here. Let me move this ball out of this pocket because this pocket's pretty full. I am rambling, but blow me. had I tried to shoot that with the speed or whatever to get off the rail, I might have missed the gate. And that was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make the gate. So now, here I am. Let's say I need them both. In this situation, I'm freaking jacked up. I'm on the rail, so I don't have a whole lot of choices at this point. It's make this ball and do something with the 15. If I decide, well, I can make the 14 and get back on the rail and maybe bank it. You know, that's what I'm looking at right now. Okay, I can try that. Don't worry so much about leaving myself a good bank for this 15, which is going to be a tough bank no matter what. Don't worry about that so much that I missed the 14. You know, making the shot in a lot of these cases is, you know, 3/4 of my priority should be that, at least. Maybe 95. It should be way up there. Because if I miss that 14, I got to go sit down and I got to watch my opponent shoot. But if I make it and I get shape that I wanted, that's awesome. If I make it and don't get the shape that I wanted, I can play some kind of a safety or something normal. Or maybe come up with some other shot, a 2-railer on the 15 instead of a 1-railer. Something like that. The goal has to be make the shot. I've talked about all this before, but I keep forgetting it, so now I'm talking about it again. So there I am. Here I am. Now, there's only one ball on the table. I'm not sure really any of this applies, especially not for this situation. There are certain times where, you know, going for a shot is the wrong thing to do, and my subconscious will a lot of times let me know that. After I shoot, my subconscious is a dick like that. It waits till after I miss, and then it goes, "Oh, you shouldn't have freaking shot that, dumbass." Yeah, that's short. But so yeah, I wanted to add that on there, or I wanted to make a little video of that happens to me a lot. I mean, miscues, or I'll shoot, and the worst possible thing will happen. A lot of these times are that I shouldn't have shot that shot in the first place, and I kind of forced the issue. Or I tried to focus on 2 things at once, maybe even sometimes 3 things at once. Make a ball, get a breakout, and it's safe, just in case, you know. I have to keep in mind what is the priority, and that's harder for me than I like to admit. But maybe it's because I'm old and all that stuff. I tend to go, well, I have 2 goals. I need to focus on these 2 goals and make sure that I get them right. Or I have 3 goals. I got to do all 3. No, not necessarily. In most cases, if it's an offensive shot, the goal is make the ball. In most cases, if it's a safety, the goal is to get the cue ball wherever you wanted it to go. If it's a 2-way shot, it gets a little bit different, and it depends on the situation. There are going to be some 2-way shots that are tough shots, and you want to get the cue ball where you want. There are going to be some 2-way shots that are easier, and you can worry a little bit more about the object ball. This is worthy of a longer video that is rehearsed and maybe written down, but as we all know, I'm not going to fucking do that, because that sounds like that would be hard to do. It's something to be aware of. Be aware of these little situations where I can have a split brain, and then try to combat those situations. You know, first step is recognize them. Second step, well, I don't know. When I figure out the second step, then that'll probably be in another video. But recognize those situations where my goal is split inside my brain between making the ball and doing something else. Because those do mess me up quite a bit, and I usually notice after the fact that they mess me up. I like to be able to notice ahead of time, and then be able to maybe adjust my choices or something, or adjust my mental attitude before I shoot it. So I got to be able to recognize those situations ahead of time. That would be great. Bye.